All right, so we're gonna move into control position 1. So we know the difference between maintenance and attacking. And the beautiful thing about control position 1 is it ties the two together so that I can attack while I maintain. And I think that's one of the things that makes this position so unique, which is why I like being there so much. So when I'm inside control, I'm gonna be looking at starting in our maintenance position. So I'm hugging the head, I'm blocking the hip here, and I'm having that nice like stake through the vampire, through me, through him to the floor. I want to imagine something that is attaching me to him to the ground all together. So that's why it's tying 3 things here. And anywhere I go, I'm making sure that I keep that pressure down. So when I'm here, I'm blocking the hip. I originally started developing this position out of looking to go for paper cutter chokes. But the beautiful thing about control position 1 is that it actually leads us to multiple submissions. So we're just going to focus on getting there first, because once I get there, I'm now in a maintenance and attack mode at the same time, which is really, really awesome for me. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my hand out from underneath his head. I'm going to bring my elbow to the other side of his neck. And I'm doing that so that I have more space for my knees to travel towards his head. So step 1, I'm going to bring my hand over. And I'm going to walk my knees towards my partner's head. Okay. One of the major reasons I do this is so that as I move my right hand here from blocking his hip, I'm further away from his legs, so there's less risk for me overall from him recovering the guard. So now I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to shoot it underneath his armpit like a regular paper cutter grip. Shooting underneath the armpit, and I'm going to go 4 fingers in the back of the collar and make a really strong grip. Okay, so step 1 was I brought my arm over, I moved towards the head. Step 2, I'm reaching down with my right hand and I'm going to grab that collar. Okay, so here's traditionally where we stop when we go for paper cutter positions, because we come in and we originally go for the choke. The problem here is now I'm fighting 2 hands and a chin against my 1. So 3 against 1 is not going to be great for me. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get rid of this arm. I'm going to take it out of the equation. Okay, so step 3 here is I'm going to get on my toes and I'm going to use that pressure that I have with that stake through me, through him to the floor. And I'm going to get up on my toes. I'm going to keep that pressure on him. I'm going to walk my legs towards his head. I'm going to use my knees or my feet, whatever I need, to clear his arm to the ground. Once his arm is to the ground, I bring my knees back to the side of his body, and I'm going to lock his arm in. So now his arm is locked across my hip. His hand is over here. I still have the strong grip with my right hand. And this is awesome because I now have access to go for my positions to finish, but also his arm is in the way of recovering the guard. So he is now blocking the hip with his own hand the way that I was before, right? So if we're turning this way, what you'll see is that if he tries to bring his own knee inside, like go ahead and try hip escape, his own arm is in the way. So this is awesome for me. So now my knees can afford to move around and I can go into attacking positions without needing to worry too much about him recovering. Okay, so we're going to be here, and that's going to be our control position to move into our next submissions.